Hi there, it's Emma from Emma's Cards and Paper Crafts. Welcome to my latest video. I'm going to start out this video with a little thank you. So some Happy Mail came through my door the other day, which I totally was not expecting, and it turns out my lovely mummy had been on Amazon after my last video and had sent me some goodies that she thought might help out. So since Stampin' Up don't make the embossing body anymore, she bought me the equivalent of an embossing buddy and some precision tweezers to help me out with my placing of my little gem dot thingies. She's seen I was struggling, so thank you, Mommy, for all of those. So pop those to one side, they'll come in handy very, very soon. Today's video I'm actually working on some ATCs, so artist trading cards. This isn't something I've done before and it's completely new to me. So I've done my, it's a swap that I'm taking part of, and we're making a set of 3. I've made 2 so far because I wanted to try and get a feel of things before I went rogue on here. So these are the first 2 I've made, and I'm going to make the 3rd one with you today. So I've already cut the board. So the board I'm using to make these quite sturdy is actually from one of my packets of Memories and More cards. So in the back here, look, you get this really thick, nice cardboard. It does take some trimming down. I wouldn't suggest using a nice new blade on your trimmer. I'd use a slightly older blade, and you have to cut it from both sides in the exact same place. And then I've been using my craft knife to score down the middle to make it perfect. And then if I get little fluffy edges, I've been using a nail file just to get rid of the fluffy edges, which seems to be working. So ATCs are 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And I've been doing this in the Irresistible Blooms suite because it's my new favourite. So I've just pulled out some of the papers that I did the others with to start with. I've got a few more pieces cut out ready to go that I'd already cut and decided against using. So I'm going to use this paper here as my background because I just love this bit here and these leaves. So I'm going to chop that. I think about that. I don't know if I want to use this side actually because it's got a little bit more of a negative space to be filled with other stuff. I think I'll use this side. Let's get my paper trimmer out. And then, so I'm going to trim, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch maybe off the top, just to get down to the section that I want in the middle. It's not exactly 3/4 of an inch, but I'm just going to wing it. And then cut this side down at 2.5 inches. So pop those bits into my pile of leftovers, and now I just need to trim this down to 3.5 inches. So I want to cut the bottom off now, so make sure you have your paper around the right way so you know you're not cutting off the bit that you actually want. I might actually take a little bit more off the top because I do want a little bit more of the leaves in the bottom, so we're going to cut it a little bit big and trim down the top a little bit more. So let's make that 3.5 inches. There we go. So we've still got a little bit of that negative space there. We will also need a second one that doesn't matter the pattern, but I'm going to use the reverse side of the paper. Let's just chop it about a bit more. So 2.5 by 3.5. So this is going to be the back of our card. I like to use the reverse of the paper for the reverse of the card. So these 2 here, you've got this one this side, and then I've used the reverse of the paper for the reverse of it, and this one the reverse as well. So I've got my stamps in front of me in this suite, but I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with this one. So I've already pre-cut my piece of card because this does take an age to cut. So let's get some glue. Right, let's flip them over. So So because I've cut my paper to the exact size of the card, occasionally it's not the exact size, and I've filed the cardboard down a little bit on one of the others. On the others the paper was a tiny bit big, so I filed the edges of the paper just to give it a slightly worn look. So I'm not sure if you can see, just along the edges here, I've got sort of like a slight worn bit. So that's just where I filed it down, just to make it look a little bit aged, a little bit special. So I'm going to hold that down nice and hard. So as you can see, that one's virtually perfect on there. See if I can slide it up a bit. That's the good thing about Tombow, is you do have a few minutes of wiggle room. And it's not going to wiggle anymore though. That's almost perfect. I'll probably file around the edge of this one as well to give it the aged look as well. And then we glue the back on. So I don't know if you can see, but this edge here is already a little bit worn because of my cutting blade. It's not brilliant. I didn't change my blade for this. I had used it for cutting the cardboard, as it's been on my cutter for quite a while now. I thought I'd use that one and then swap it out afterwards. But as I'm going to file the edges anyway to make it a little bit worn, it doesn't really matter. So I'll just give that a minute or two to dry. So this is the stamp set. I like to keep all of my odds and ends from other projects in the boxes as well. So you've got all of these dies. Do you know what? I might pull out some of these leaves. I've not used these leaves before, so they're well and truly stuck. A couple, maybe 3 of those. So this one cuts out this big flower. I've got the smaller flower here, which I'd already been using to cut out flowers. And we've got the leaves that cut out this leaf and this leaf. Just pop those back on so I don't lose them. Won't fit there. It'll fit somewhere. I'll make it fit. So I tend to keep my dies in my box with my stamps because it just makes it easier for me that I know where which stamp sets have got dies and which ones haven't, which ones got punches. Just makes things a little bit easier for me. So one of them I've done with the I couldn't be happier to have you as a friend, and I've done one with hello. I think this one I'm going to do with thank you. Just to mix up the sentiments. Oh, I haven't even used the thank you yet. Clearly I've got a backlog of thank you cards and I've not had to make any more. I do need to find out some cardstock. Let's just take that stamp off and put that one on. I've got my lovely folder of cardstock right next to me. So let's look at the colours. So the colours in this one is Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Lost Lagoon, Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock and Soft Sea Foam. So we're going to need some of the Pretty Peacock. I think maybe if we do Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon. And now, so a friend sent me this a little while ago. She made me up a colour swatch. So this has got all of the colours, and it just makes it easier for me to match up my colours in my cardstock folder. So this one's Pretty Peacock, which is the darker colour, and then the Lost Lagoon is, where is it? It's here somewhere. There we go, there's the Lost Lagoon, so that's the slightly lighter shade. So what I'm going to do is cut a couple of leaves, I think, in each of the colours. I've probably got little scraps of these colours in my folder. So to keep all of my cardstock nice and sorted, I have this great big folder, and I keep all of my scraps because you never know when you're going to need it for a sentiment. And then it's all individually in wallets to find the right colour. So that one is one's Lost Lagoon. Yep, that was Lost Lagoon. Don't have a scrap of that one yet. Let's undo the clip. Make things easier because this folder weighs a ton. So we're going to need a little bit of this one. So I pop that out in front of me. And then the Pretty Peacock. So there's Pretty Peacock. I've used quite a lot of that one already, so there's just a little scrap of that out. Let's pop the folder to one side. And preferably not on top of my paper trimmer. My folder's just slid away. So let's just cut off a smidgen of this one. That's all I need for cutting some of these. That didn't quite cut through. Definitely need to change my blade today. There we go. So I'll pop that one back in the folder in a minute. There's my scraps. My little die cut machine out. I do just about have space for this one on my desk. I'm not sure if we've still got this one in stock at the moment, but I know it was on the website. This was originally a special joining offer, but we still had a few left over. So it got added onto the main website. I think it's in the online exclusives if we do still have it. If we do, I'll put a link to it in the description box. So there we go. And then this bit's the fun bit. There we go. So I like to go through forwards and then backwards just to make sure they've cut properly, especially if you've got multiple dies in the same at the same time. Pop those out. So it's stuck. There we go. Pop those to one side a minute. So I'm only going to do 3 of each, I think. So pop that one on there. That one on there. And I need my I only had it earlier. Where's my pokey tool? There it is. Oh. Children have been at the desk again. I've got felt tip pens hiding everywhere. So these dies actually have little holes just there and there, so you can carefully press out your die cuts. And then of course to get the excess bits out you can poke through the holes. Carefully not poke your hand in the process though. So there we go. That slid a little bit too close to the edge for my liking, just in case it moves while it's going through. There we go, that's all of those. Gently pop those out. Pop all of the little extras out. let's just pop all of these bits out while I'm here. Otherwise I'll get lazy and I'll forget to do it, and then I'll be annoyed with myself when I go to use them again. So by the time you see this video, if anybody wanted an update, my daughter should have her cast off. We're going this afternoon to go get her cast off. And fingers crossed that's the end of this whole ordeal and things will start getting back to normal. Oops, half of that missed the bin. So let's bring the card back in quickly. So, I think we do it like a little... I'm not sure. Ooh, actually, do I have got a leafy thing cut out? Do these? No, they're too big to go on there. I do sort of though. I'll go that side. Ooh, now I'm undecided. Does that one fit on there? They do. They sort of do. I can make them work. I think I'm going to glue those onto that one. So here comes the fun bit. Do I have... No, I don't. Right. Let's try. We'll put a little bit of glue on here like this. So this is the one that it's going to put on the side. So I'm just going to gently dip it in there. Oh, this is when the tweezers will come in handy, isn't it? But I don't want them all gluey. Let's pop that one over there like that. See, it does kind of fit, but I'll either chop those bits off or kind of mask it. So the reason I put it on here is this has got like quite a shiny surface on it, so the glue is easy to pick back up again. There's that one. So this has just got a hint of the Daffodil Delight in it, so I'll make it stand out. Oh, is it this one for the middle one? Yeah, that one fits. Just need a little bit more glue. Glue your fingers. Tiny bit more glue. Don't worry though, the tweezers will be going in my handy dandy pen pot and will be used very, very soon. If not in a minute, actually. I might put some of the darker gemstones on this one. So that's what that looks like now that we've put those on there. And then these are little bits and bobs I've got left that I've already cut out. So these lighter green and Daffodil Delight ones I might use. Might use the yellow as well. Don't think we'll use the pink one. So let's pop that one on some dimensionals. So these are the mini dimensionals, as opposed to, oh hang on, these are the slightly larger dimensionals, the normal size. I never waste any, so this edge bit I'll cut up and use for various other projects, and that's why I have a nice empty one here that I managed to put my glue on. That glue will dry hard though and I'll peel it off later on. Let's get these leaves stuck down. Pop those in that corner. I might just trim the tail off of that one. Now where have the scissors gone? That's the big question. Here's some, not the ones I was looking for, but these ones will have to do. And then we're going to pop, let's use the last little bit of glue off of here. Bit of glue on there. Just to hide those little tails of the bits we stuck on top. Let's get our thank you out. And the black ink. Definitely think I'm going to need to re-ink this one soon. I'm going to try and do this as close to the top, excuse my head. There we go. Not quite straight, but I'm sure it's good enough. And then let's look for some small ones too. 3. Handy dandy tweezers coming out. So when I was gluing the gems on the other ones here, I actually finally figured out that if I put the glue down first rather than trying to put the glue on the gem, it makes a whole lot more sense. So then I don't get glue all over my fingers. So we're going to go for 3 is the magic number. This is when I decide to ping them everywhere. So let's put the big one in the space. Just hold it for a second. I don't know if that was it. That one just there. Put the tiny one at the top. And then one last thing I think I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to keep this one quite simple, is we're going to use a little bit of Wink of Stella. Oh, sorry if you can hear that. It's super hot here today, but it's also really windy. So I'm just going to put a Wink of Stella on a few of these background leaves to give it a little bit of extra sparkle. There we go. I'll lift it up and hopefully you'll be able to see. If you can see it, it's a little bit, not sure if you'll be able to see it or not, the tiniest bit iridescent sparkly. It is quite hard to capture on video, but I shall try and upload a video picture as well so you can see it properly. So there's our third one. So there we have it, is my 3 swaps. I'll be sending those off to my swap partner very, very soon, and I hope she likes them, and I'll be excited to see what she's made me too. So thank you for watching my video, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!